BlackTideTV presents the top 10 most toxic items that you'll come across in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer that you need to be aware of. If you've played CoD 4 in the past, this will be more or less a refresher course, but I promise I'll make it as entertaining as possible. If you have not played Call of Duty 4 or have not gotten into the multiplayer in Modern Warfare Remastered yet, prepare for your education. Get your notepad out because you're going to learn some things today. We're talking about the top 10 most annoying items in this game, be they perks or weapons or equipment. These are the things that are going to make you rage quit. Trust me, you will not make it through this entire game without leaving a match in progress at least once. There are some crazy things in this game and they are just irksome, and you need to know what these crazy things are before they kill you or before they interrupt your kills. Trust me, it's something that you need to know before getting into this game, is that this is Call of Duty 4 Remastered, okay? Call of Duty 4 was not a perfect game. Although a lot of people remember it as a perfect game, a lot of people remember CoD 4, Modern Warfare 2, the classic Call of Duties as these gems, these perfectly balanced, amazing games. Not the case. There are weapons in this game that vastly outperform everything else. There are perks and there are equipment in this game that vastly perform everything else. It's just, there are things in this game that are incredibly overpowered, and there are things that are incredibly underpowered, and you're going to be trying to use it all, and unless you have an education, unless you've played CoD 4 before, you'll never know what's going on unless someone tells you. So that's what I'm here for today. We're going to start with number 10, the M16A4. This is a specific weapon. That's why it's so high on the list. I would have actually put it a little bit lower towards like number 1, number 2, something like that, because it's just so overused. But because it's so specific, I decided to put it at number 10. So the M16A4 is, of course, the most overpowered assault rifle, most overpowered weapon in the entire game. It is a 3-round burst. It bursts fairly quickly. It will drop you in 2 to 3 shots, especially if you're using stopping power. You can drop people across the map. Very accurate, very high damage. Almost every single person uses this weapon. It's going to drive you nuts. And all I have to say about it is, try not to be one of those guys that says, oh, well, everyone else is using it, I'm going to use it too. Because there are other weapons in this game, and a lot of the weapons in this game, unlike the M16A4, are good at a specific topic, are good at a specific niche. Like, you use them in one specific game mode or on one specific map in one area of that map, and it's an amazing weapon. Whereas the M16 is just good at everything. And while it's fun to be good at everything, while it's fun to use the M16 in maybe pro matches or competitive games when you're playing for keeps, try out some of the other weapons, and I'm sure you'll have a much better time, and maybe you'll inspire other people to use other weapons as well. Number 9, we have sniping. This is sort of in the same box as M16A4. There are snipers in this game that are really, really annoying. Most of the snipers in this game are overpowered. You can drop people with snipers as long as you're using the correct perks. Almost every time the sniper is going to win a gunfight. If the sniper has skill and he's using the right perks, he will always win the gunfight. Snipers can completely cross-map you. They can hide in some little tiny corner in some windowsill on the other side of the map and just snipe you out of your spawn and just rapid kill you like 7 times in a row. And it can get really annoying, but you just got to play through it. Maybe switch to a sniper yourself to try and counter it, but honestly, sniping is very overpowered in this game. This is actually one of the Call of Duties revered as the greatest sniping Call of Duty of all time. This one and Modern Warfare 2 are 2 of the top best sniping games of all time, or best sniping Call of Duty games of all time. So you're going to run into some snipers, and you're going to run into some god snipers, and it's just something you got to deal with. Number 8 isn't really a huge problem unless it's paired with some of the other things that are lower on this list. So number 8, I've got Sonic Boom. This is a perk 2, and this perk 2 will increase the damage done by explosives. And that includes claymores, C4, RPGs, martyrdom, it includes noob tubes, it includes frag grenades. It's bad. It's not a super big thing that you're going to notice a lot, but you are going to get killed by some of those other explosives, and we are going to talk about every single explosive I just mentioned a little bit later on this list. But Sonic Boom just adds to that annoyingness. Like, when you get killed by a grenade, it's usually you can see how far, like, you'll get used to how far a grenade can be from you so you can survive it. And then this one random time, you'll be like, oh, I can survive that grenade, and it'll kill you anyways. And you'll be like, what? and then you'll look at the kill cam and you'll see the little sonic boom and you're like, oh, I see. So sonic boom is 100% a troll perk, or unless you're going for your challenges, it is 100% a troll perk, and you are going to get killed by people using Noob Tubes or Frags ×3 with their sonic boom, throwing frags across the map or noob tubing across the map just to drive you nuts. And it will work. It will drive you nuts, because normally you can survive some explosives. Explosives are very powerful to begin with, but normally you can survive some, and when you can't survive the one that you knew you should have survived, it gets on your nerves. Number 7, Claymore, C4, and RPGs. C4 isn't as big of a problem. I don't mind C4. All 3 of these are perk 1s, by the way. C4 isn't as big of a problem because it actually takes a little bit of skill to use C4. As for Claymores, they get really annoying because you'll get into some lobbies where an entire team will be working together using Claymores, and they'll all just like camp in one house. Say you're playing Search and Destroy, they'll just like camp in a house at their spawn, and they'll just put like 30 Claymores on every single door, and you can't get in there, so they just win the round by default. You'll get into some lobbies like that, and that can get kind of annoying, but for the most part, Claymores are mostly avoidable. You can run through them very fast. As long as you run through them and keep going, you can usually make it to the other side of the Claymore before it blows up. However, if they do catch you off guard, if they're around a corner, if they're in somewhere that you weren't expecting them, they can be very annoying, especially when, of course, tied with Sonic Boom, because sometimes Claymores, they will hurt you a lot. They'll do like 90 damage if you're a little bit outside their blast radius, but you can still survive, and you can still sneak up on the sniper or whoever's camping in that room that planted that Claymore to watch their back. So you can take a bit of damage and then run in and still kill them. Sometimes if they're using Sonic Boom and they have that, well, then that's not going to happen because the Claymore is just going to completely obliterate you. Now, RPGs are the biggest problem of my number 7. RPGs, if you're using RPGs, let's just put it this way, put them into the sky. Aim at the sky, use them to shoot down helicopters. Don't shoot them at other people. Unless you're going for your challenges, just please don't shoot RPGs at other people, because it's super annoying, it's toxic, and it's contagious. If somebody shoots an RPG at you, you instantly take out an RPG and you start shooting back. Or you instantly take out your Noob Tubes and you start shooting back. It's just the way of this game. So don't be the first guy. Don't be the guy to initiate the RPG battle, because it's annoying as hell. And nobody likes to get killed by an RPG. You'll see the guy, you'll be on like Vacant, this long tunnel in Vacant, and you'll see this guy running down the hallway with his RPG on his shoulder, and you're like, no, stay away from me. And the RPG will fire, and you'll see it flying through the air, and you will literally rage quit and leave the game before the RPG even makes contact. It gets to that point in this game where when people start shooting RPGs at you, it's just like, ugh, no. But that's nothing compared to my number 3. But we're on to number 6 right now. Kill streaks. Namely the attack helicopter. The attack helicopter is super annoying. It will completely slaughter your team. Do your team a solid when the attack helicopter gets in here and just aim in the sky and start shooting at it. You can take down attack helicopters with bullet weapons, so please try. When an attack helicopter comes in, everyone on your team should instantly aim at the sky and start shooting at that attack helicopter. RPGs or no, because that thing will sometimes completely massacre your team. It will get like 15 kills sometimes. And it's only 7 kill streak, so you're going to see a lot of them in the sky. Just do your best to try and shoot them down when you can. Number 5, I've got tacticals and stuns ×3. So tacticals are a big problem in this game. The flashbangs last for like 10 to 15 seconds. They're pretty crazy. Stuns will completely freeze you on the spot. Smoke isn't as effective, so you can kind of leave that alone. It doesn't really have a purpose in this game, apart from just like throwing it and then running away, or hiding and search and destroy or something. But stuns are super annoying, and then using tax ×3, which is a perk 1, and then stacking that with your stuns or your flashes, it can get bad. Now the thing about it is, I recommend you use it for like search and destroy or something like that, and you throw a tactical grenade into different rooms to check if there's any enemies there. So throw it into 3 different doors to see if there's enemies in either of those doors. Don't throw 3 stuns at one person. If you throw a stun and you hit him, that guy is like frozen on the spot for the next 10 seconds. You don't need to throw 2 more stuns at him. That's just going to piss him off. Unless you're trolling this guy, you don't need to stun him 3 times. So 1 stun will do. Don't over spam your stun grenades, or don't over spam your flash grenades, your tactical grenades in general. Just keep it to a bare minimum. Throw 1, and that's all it takes. Number 4, Martyrdom and Last Stand. These are perk 3s. These are death perks. Now, these perks got remastered as what were they called? Death streaks in Modern Warfare 2, which were even more toxic. But these ones aren't super bad as of right now. They're not being over spammed right now because the game is still new and they are higher unlocks. But let me tell you, when people start going for the challenges with these things, this is all you're going to see in the game. Because the challenges for these 2 perks are very, very hard. And they're going to take a long time to do. So eventually, I'm thinking about 2 months into this game, we're going to see people using these perks all the time, and it's going to get really rough. You have to be prepared for people to just drop in the middle of a gunfight and start spamming you with pistols. You have to be prepared for frags to drop on your enemies' bodies when you kill them. So don't get too close to your enemies, even if you're using a shotgun or something like that. Just be prepared to backpedal the second you kill an enemy, and be prepared to continue firing even if you see their bodies start to fall out of the air as you kill them. Be prepared to continue firing down towards the ground, because they will fall on the ground and they will take out their pistol and they will spam they will spam their ass off and they will get the kill. They will, okay? So you got to be prepared to deal with Last Stand users and Martyrdom users. Number 3, Noob Tubes. As I said, RPG's got nothing on Noob Tubes in this game. Noob Tubes weren't as bad in this game as they were in Modern Warfare 2, but they are still pretty toxic. You only get 2 shots with each weapon, with each life. So generally what people will do is they'll shoot 1 Noob Tube across the map, and then they'll save 1 other for quote-unquote emergency circumstances. But Noob Tubes, as long as they aren't being used with Sonic Boom, aren't too crazy, but the second they get paired with Sonic Boom, they're pretty bad. Noob Tubes, you gotta just be prepared that you're gonna get killed by at least 1 Noob Tube in every single game you play. So don't start getting mad every time you get Noob Tubed, because it's bound to happen. It's permanently unlocked. It's basically unlocked from the second you start. Level 1, you get assault rifles with Noob Tubes unlocked. You don't have to rank up and unlock those Noob Tubes. Everyone has access to them. 99% of players have a class with Noob Tubes on stock, just in case they run into an anti-Noob Tuber, or in case they run into someone else and they need to have a Noob Tube battle with that person. 99% of players will use Noob Tubes in this game. It's something you got to get used to. Don't freak out. Don't yell at people and tell them that they have no skill because they're using a Noob Tube. It's an overpowered thing, and it's useful. It's overpowered for a reason. People are going to use the overpowered things to get ahead. So just be aware that you will get killed by a Noob Tube from time to time, and there's nothing you can really do about it. They are very powerful, and they will drop you. So be aware of that. Number 2, Frags and Frags times 3. Frags are very powerful in this game. Again, stacked with Sonic Boom, they're crazy. Frags, you can basically guarantee yourself a kill every single time you spawn. If you know where to throw your frag grenade from your spawn, if you know the right area to throw that frag grenade up into the air, you can guarantee yourself a kill every single time you spawn in any game mode. Search and Destroy, you can get triple frags off the beginning of a round, and you can kill half the enemy team. Like, boom, dead. Triple frag across the map. It's possible, and it's scary, because the frag locations in this game, like, the frags have such a wide blast radius and have so much damage. Just be prepared that frags are going to smack you like every turn. Be prepared to run into an area and then spin around and run away as fast as you possibly can. This is why extreme conditioning is really great, because you'll be running into an area and then you'll run out of sprint, and then frags will start falling out of the sky and you won't be able to get away. So extreme conditioning is a really great perk to get away from those frags. But as far as the frags go, just be aware that there will be frags falling from the sky from time to time, and they will kill you. When a frag lands, 90% of the time it's probably going to kill you. If you see the frag indicator, you're generally going to die. And most people do cook their frag grenades, so you don't really have that much notice when the frag hits you, or when the frag hits the ground next to you. So yeah, and then there's frags times 3 to add on top of that. Frags times 3 gives you 3 frag grenades, so 3 guaranteed kills more or less when you spawn, or 1 guaranteed kill and then 2 more frags for emergency circumstances again. But it's very easy to get frag kills in this game, and it's very easy to die from frags, so don't freak out when you die from frags every 10 seconds. It's not like new Call of Duties where lethals and tacticals and whatever aren't useful anymore. They are 100% the best thing to get kills with in this game, so don't freak out when you get killed by frags. It's bound to happen at some time. And number 1, I feel like you all knew this was coming, but Juggernaut is a perk 2. It increases your health. It's fucking AIDS. That's all I gotta say. I honestly, what can be said about Juggernaut that hasn't been said already? People have been calling for its nerf already. People that have never played the game, people that have played COD 4 before, everyone wants this thing nerfed, and they're not gonna touch it because this is a classic Call of Duty perk right here. It's incredibly overpowered. You're gonna see a lot of people abusing it, noobs and pros alike. Use stopping power and do your best. But Juggernaut, man, it's bad. That's all I have to say. That is my list of my top 10 most annoying things, most toxic things in Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer that you need to be looking out for. I hope you enjoyed this list. What do you think is the worst thing in this game? The most annoying perk or piece of equipment or weapon in this game? Let me know in the comment section. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.